tonight at St. Gen. Hold on, let's redo that.
Okay.
Hi, folks. I'm Troy Johnson here with Drew Toombs here tonight. We are here for the St. Gen Valley Catholic first basketball game this year at Valley Catholic. Drew, what are you expecting for tonight?
I'm expecting pretty good defense on both sides. St. Genevieve has been 3-0 over the past 3 games. They have won all 3 of them, as they are in 3-0, of course. But they haven't had a lot of points against them. So I'm expecting a really low-scoring affair.
Yeah, in the Jamboree earlier this year, Valle did. Well, actually, they split. They restarted the score after each quarter. And the 2 teams did split, so this game should be very close. We should be in for a very good one tonight.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah.
I understand that you got an interview with Coach Josh Banks of the St. Genevieve Dragons. Why don't we hear that?
Yeah, I will play that real quick. I'm Troy Johnson here with Coach Josh Banks before tonight's girls basketball game against Valley Catholic. Coach, after a 3-0 start, what are some things you want to improve on, and what has the team been doing well?
After the start, some of the things I want to improve on is primarily our focus when we start the beginning of the game. I feel like we're not mentally focused and ready to go, and we kind of goof around in the first quarter, and that sometimes creates a little bit of tension and allows the other team to play with us, and we have to play catch up. And I'm hoping that we can redirect that. And get some more consistency this year from our girls on layups, defense, talking, things like that.
You talked about layups, just some basic skill stuff. What has been your biggest emphasis in practice?
So far this year, one of the biggest emphasis in practice is turnovers and consistency with running our offense. One of the problems that we've had is we have set offenses structured and girls not sometimes lining up where they need to be or hustling to the spot to get the play started. And so if we can focus a little more on those, I think we'll find a lot more success.
Kind of switching tones here, what are your expectations for the season?
Honestly, every time I answer this question, it never happens. But some of my expectations this year is I really feel like our girls have a legitimate chance to compete against conference teams this year. I feel like we can get 17 or 18 wins, even though our schedule is a little bit tougher than it was last year. And one of the expectations too is we're hosting districts this year, which I think will help give us a little bit of a plus in the playing side, as opposed to going, say, over to Dexter or over to Sykeston.
Yeah, you talked about last year, kind of bringing it up. You lost 2 key players last year, Natalie Engel and Riley Meyer. Who do you expect to step up and fill those roles?
Well, when Natalie, and Riley, they basically graduated. I was lucky enough to have Avery Reed and Emma Meyer consistently step up, and then also Maddie Helms as well. I feel like they complemented those 2, and in some regards are stronger. I feel like Avery shoots a lot better and is one of my better shooting posts this year, and I feel like on the ball handling side and defense that Maddie Helms does a pretty good job as well. And I feel like my rotation is pretty good, so I'm pretty excited with the transition this year from last year.
You brought up last year again. How have you improved from last year?
So far right now, we're consistently putting up more points, and on defense, we are getting a lot more defensive stops and rebounds. One of those things, though, is you want to improve and progress as the year goes on. And last year, we kind of stalled there at the end, and I think we won only 2 of our last 6 games. So I'm hoping that we can build momentum and maintain it and be strong down the stretch, as opposed to starting out the gate strong and then flatlining at the end of the year.
All right, I'm Troy Johnson here with Coach Banks. Thank you, Coach. That was our interview with Coach Banks, and it sounded like he had pretty high expectations for the year. And tonight against Valle we'll see how those expectations live up. And Drew, I understand that you have starters for tonight's game.
I do have starters for tonight. For Valley Catholic, we have number 5, Emma Karen, number 13, Taylor Siebert, number 14, Allison Barr, number 20, Katie Heil, and number 22, Sydney Bosler. And for the St. Genevieve Dragons, we have number 3, Madison Reynolds, number 13, Darren Brown, number 20, Emma Meyer, number 22, Addie Stiegel, and number 44, Courtney Dunsey.
So a lineup of all seniors tonight for the Dragons, all 5 seniors in the starting lineup. Usually what you'll see the Dragons do in the 3 games so far this season, they will go Avery Reed at the 4 and then Courtney at the 5. Still starting 4 seniors, a very experienced team in the Dragons.
Yeah, St. John's going to try and come out and they're going to utilize 3 bigs here at the very beginning of the game. Addie, Courtney, and they're going to utilize 3 bigs. All I know is Addie and Courtney. I couldn't see the starting lineups here. I only saw them for a little bit. But they're going to try and use that post game to their advantage. I mean, Valle doesn't look that big compared to St. John, so hopefully they're going to get to the bigs and get some points off of them.
Yeah, and some recent basketball news here for the girls basketball team. Madison Reynolds actually committed to MAC the other day for basketball. I know she's very excited to continue that in her further education.
Yeah, and she's going to be – I think she's going to be a real good player over there at MAC, and hope she has a really good career at MAC, and hope she can go to on to big things.
Yeah, we will definitely see how that plays out. And we have about 1:19 here until game time. Both teams still warming up. And like we said, tonight's going to be a pretty good game as we're to the point of the season where games will start counting against their record.
Yeah, and this is Valle Catholic has a tournament. There's a tournament every year that St. John's been a part of, and both of these teams are actually in the championship of that tournament. That's what we're bringing you here tonight. So hopefully it's a good game.
Yeah, hopefully, as both teams go into their benches now. If you're Coach Banks, what are you saying to your team before tonight's game?
I'd say you're going to have pregame jitters. So just kind of I don't know, really. I mean, you're going to have pregame jitters, of course, before every game, but this is just different because it's against your crosstown rival. So kind of just control the ball and protect the ball through everything you've got.
Yeah, I think he's saying something, just ignore, everything that you've heard, that Valle is a good team this year, that they really competed with you guys earlier in the year. This is the new point of the season. We've had ups and we've had downs in practices, and we'll see how tonight plays out.
Yeah, as they're going over the starting lineups now for both St. John and Valle, like we did earlier. Troy, what are your expectations for the game? I never got to ask you that.
My expectations, I'm really hoping for a Dragon victory here tonight. Being a little biased here, but I'm pretty new to St. John, and what I've learned so far is you never root for Valle. So.
Yeah, that's so true. And I just hope this will be a good game.
Yeah, I really hope so, too. As a pretty big spirit crowd tonight here for St. John. You see as Brandon Henson just waved to me, and football season not really just wrapped up, but wrapped up quite a bit ago.
Yeah, and St. John came off a 7-5 record. They actually lost to Park Hill Central in the championship game of their district. Really good game. I don't remember what the score was of that game, but it was a good game, and Central actually went on to lose the next round in sectional. So they were in the Elite Eight, the 8 teams that could go to the state football championship, but they lost the next round. So really good season for the St. John football Dragons, and now here we are to kick off our broadcasting season with St. Genevieve basketball.
And Dunsey takes the tip, but Valle wins it. And the leading scorer for the Dragons so far this year has been Madison Reynolds. She's had 25 points per game through 3 games. She's scored 76 points. And a turnover there forced early by the Dragons. Addie Steele got a hand on it. Reynolds taking it up the court. Hesitation move. In and out. And Reynolds gets the tough bucket for the first score of tonight's game. 2-0 Dragons.
Taylor Siebert brings it up the court, guarded by Darren Brown.
And I believe we have some technical issues here with the scoreboard. I don't see...
Yeah, I don't see the scoreboard.
So I guess we'll just keep you updated on the score. And another turnover there forced by the Dragons. That's number 20, Emma Meyer, and Dunsey puts it up. A little too hard off the glass, grabs her own rebound, puts it back up, tries to draw a foul, but it goes in. 4-0 for your St. Genevieve Dragons.
I believe Courtney Dunsey was actually the one who stole that there at the beginning and then handed it to Emma Meyer, like you said.
And
as we were talking about her, Emma Meyer picks up her first foul of the evening.
Foul was on the floor, so no free throws here. as Valle will take it from their baseline, and they will inbound the ball. Goes over to number 5, Emma Karen.
Back to Karen, back to Taylor, to Sydney Bosler up at the top, guarded by Madison Reynolds. Bosler kind of dribbling in, gives it to Taylor Siebert, over to Katie Heil.
Ooh, looks inside. Great pass over to Sydney Bosler.
Little step back move, but rebounded by Emma Meyer. That's her first of the evening. Gives it to Madison Reynolds as she brings it up the court.
She has
Passes
Brown
it out
wide
to
open. Brown with a shot. Yes, rattles in and out. 7-0 here early for the Dragons. Really jumping on these Valle Catholic Warriors.
As Taylor Siebert brings it down to the court, guarded closely by Darren Brown. Gives it to Katie Heil, guarded by Emma Meyer. Gives it to Karen. Back to Katie, up.
Blocked.
And
that
blocked.
is Addie Stiegel. Being
Brought down
scrappy
by
on the
Stiegel.
defensive side. Over to Reynolds. Brown in the corner. Yes, 10-0 run here to start for the Dragons.
That's Brown's second 3 of the game. She has 6 points on the evening. As Taylor Siebert brings it up, gives it to Sydney Bosler, guarded by Madison Reynolds. A little screen by Katie, but Madison stays with her.
Almost broke her own ankles there. It looks like she slipped a little bit.
Goes
Bosler
down,
with
step back. Yes.
Yes.
There's Valle's first points of the evening.
And Sydney Bosler, she will shoot the ball at ease. If she has an open shot, she's going to take it.
Yes, she will. Darren Brown again.
Again, Brown.
Nope.
Rattles in and out.
Karen gets the rebound, gives it to Sydney Bosler, who gives it to Taylor Siebert as she brings it up the court.
10-2 here, our score early with 5:30 left in the first quarter.
Gives it to Allison Barr, who's driving on Addie Stiegel, but Addie with good closeout defense. Foul.
And a foul. No shot. It is on the floor. And it looks like they will get Addie Stiegel there for the foul. They will actually get Madison Reynolds there for the foul.
Yeah, Madison Reynolds kind of reached over, trying to knock it out, but drawed the foul. As number 22, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Brady's kind of.
Came in for Karen. To Allison Barr, Taylor Siebert. Over to 22. 25, sorry.
Back to Bosler. Bosler's trying to drive. Can't get past Reynolds or Dunsey. Goes back
Screen.
around, wide open lane.
Another foul. I believe this will be called a hold on Darren Brown.
So 3 fouls here early for the Dragons.
Yeah, but all 3 of those have been by 3 different players, so no one's really getting into foul trouble yet, but we are very early here in the first quarter.
Bosler makes her first free throw. She has all 3 of Valle's points for tonight as Avery Reed checks in for Addie Stiegel. A very experienced St. Genevieve team with 5 or 6, 7 returning varsity players or swingers from last year.
Yes, Madison Reynolds brings it down to Darren Brown.
Brown with an open shot, little deep for her liking, doesn't take it. Dunsey in the corner and finds Reynolds. Reynolds swings it into Reed. Reed, great drop step, but it rattles out. And that will be a foul on Avery Reed, so 4 fouls here early for the Dragons, and Valle Catholic takes the ball.
As it looks like Katie Heil will throw it in for the Valle Catholic Warriors to Taylor. Taylor brings it up the court, guarded by Darren Brown.
And on the wing, back to the point. They look in the post. Dunsey jumps it, and it is staying with Valle. As it looks like Barr wanted to go after it, but realized she was the ball was going out, so just decided not to grab it.
As looks like Barr will throw it in for Valle.
It looks like Maddie Helms is about to check in for the Dragons.
Passes it to Katie. Katie drives baseline. Pass, but kick.
Oh, and a kick.
By Madison Reynolds.
And Maddie Helms will come in for Darren Brown tonight. Subs quick, early, and often here for the Dragons.
I think that's a good strategy. You get into your subs, and hopefully you can get girls that are fresh off the bench.
Bosler looking for a shot. The screen is set. And it looks like Valle's going with a little 4 out, 1 in here offense. As Pael, our technician here. We don't really have a scoreboard right now, Pael. Oh, there we go. And 10-6. So now the Warriors on a 6-0 run.
As Madison Reynolds takes it down for the St. Gen Dragons.
Over to Helms. Helms passes to Meyer. Meyer for 3. A little hard, but Reynolds with the rebound, but coughs it up.
And another
Reynolds.
foul on St. Genevieve. That is their 5th foul here really early in the first quarter.
And that is Reynolds' second foul, as Darren Brown and Addie Stiegel both check back in for Courtney Dunsey and Emma Meyer. As we now have our scoreboard up on the live stream, 10-6 is the score. Oh, thank you, Brady. Number 2, Weiler drives over to Bosler. Bosler for 3.
And connects. Now Valle on a 9-0 run here. Kind of late in the first quarter. Over to Maddie Helms. Thought about shooting, but we'll pass it over to Darren Brown.
Brown swings through over to Helms, almost traveled. Reynolds gets her pocket picked by number 2, Weiler. Reynolds, the floater, in and out again. Dragons are hitting the rim, but not quite getting their mark. And a foul, the first foul of the night for the Lady Warriors will be called as Darren Brown was fouled. I believe it was a reach there.
I think it was on number 2, number 13, excuse me.
Number 13,
Taylor Siebert.
Taylor Siebert. As the ball is inbounded, Reynolds will take it up the floor. You'll see Reynolds be playing a lot of minutes tonight. She is the Dragons' number 1 scorer.
Yeah, and
Reed is fouled by number 22, Sydney Bosler.
As you said, she's the number 1 scorer for St. Genevieve. Let's just go over her stats real quick. She's played 3 games, has scored 76 points. That is 25.3 points per game. She has shot 22 field goals, she has shot 55 field goals, and has made 22. That is for 40%.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that is not bad.
Over 35% in high school, and you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And Reed makes 1 of 2 free throws. 11-9. Dragons in control, excuse me. Looks to Bosler, and Reynolds will pick up her 3rd foul of the night. Early in the first quarter, it looks like Valle is going straight at Reynolds. Reynolds with half of the Dragons' fouls here tonight.
That's her 2nd foul, Troy.
Oh, it's her 2nd foul. I thought it was her 3rd. Oh, it was a kick. It wasn't a foul. And we'll find number 13, Taylor Siebert on the wing, swings it over. Number 25, Stas, over to 14, Barr. Barr kicks it out.
Siebert for 3.
Oh, short. Helms with the rebound. And an ill-advised pass, but luckily for the Dragons, they will keep the ball, as that was batted out of bounds by number 2.
22.
22. That is Sydney Bosler.
Looks like Emma Meyer will throw it in for the St. Genevieve Dragons as Madison Reynolds heads to the bench.
Are the Dragons playing with 4 players right now?
No, they're playing with 5.
Oh,
They got
okay.
Courtney Dunsey and Avery Reed down on the post.
Emma with a pump fake. Meyer, not a great shot. Bosler, strong with the ball, pulls up and shoots. Yes, 11 all here early in the game. The Lady Warriors have come rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling back from a 10-0 deficit.
Yeah, St. Genevieve went up 10-0 here early, as you said, and just came back, and now it's tied 11-11.
Reed in the corner finds Brown. Brown shoots. That is way off.
That was a little bit of a forced shot by
Well, it looks like the Dragons
Meyer.
are forcing a lot of their shots tonight. And they will call a carry on Bosler, so a turnover here for the Valle Catholic.
As Katie Heil comes back in for Taylor Siebert.
Helms will inbound the ball to Brown.
Looks like when Madison Reynolds is out of the game, I guess Darren Brown, another senior, will take over for the point guard duties.
Dunsey with a turnaround jumper and an air ball.
Allison Barr brings it back for the Valle Catholic Warriors, guarded by Avery Reed.
Number 22, that is Lauren Stas. Oh, 25, excuse me, Lauren Stas. Over to Bosler, gets a screen from Weiler, tries to turn the corner hard, still trying to turn, and she is out of bounds, so the Dragons will take over. As that was great defense there by Courtney Dunsey to put her foot on the baseline and deny her under the basket there.
Yeah, like you said, that was a great defense by Courtney Dunsey, not to foul as she did go by, and Bosler stepped out of bounds.
Brown takes the ball up the court, swings it over to Meyer. Meyer looking for Dunsey to Reed. Reed, short corner. That is in and out off the rim as Bosler swings it up to number 20. That is Katie Heil. Number 25, Stas looking for, and that is a walk. Picked up her pivot foot, looking for number 2, Weiler in the post.
Yeah, you can't use both feet to pivot.
That was a great cut there by Weiler, though. Great backdoor cut.
It almost looks like Valle Catholic's running a 2-3 zone.
Meyer nails the 3, 14-11. Dragons on top.
And that is the bad thing about the 2-3 zone. You pack it in tight, and you get that 3 from outside the arc.
Yeah, most teams that play 2-3 zones against others, you usually see a lot of 2-3 zones against not well-shooting teams. Bosler with the missed shot, rebounded. Barr, oh, and Dunsey fouled her. Looked like a block, but I could hear the smack from up here, Drew.
Yeah, I think it was a clean block. It was just on the body, I believe. I mean, they called it a slap on the wrist for
looks like she blocked her hand compared to the ball.
That's what they called. But they also think even if it was a clean block, I think they would have called a body on the shot.
So that is 7 fouls here just in the first quarter for the
As
Dragons.
Addie Stiegel comes in for Avery Reed.
Barr misses both. Great box out there by Addie Stiegel.
Yeah, she's one of those players that's got great senior leadership out there.
Meyer up the floor. Helms shoots. Yes!
Another
17-11.
Another 3 for St. Genevieve.
That is the thing about these Dragons. They will shoot a lot of 3 balls with a lot of great shooting guards in Maddie Helms, Emma Meyer, Darren Brown, and Madison Reynolds.
Absolutely.
Barr goes, has a wide open lane. Stiegel a little too late. 17-13 Dragons in the lead.
That was a
8 seconds left here in the first quarter. Helms shoots again.
Yes!
Yes! Maddie Helms nails it. And the first quarter will end with a score of 20-13. St. Genevieve in control.
Yeah, that was a really good first half for St. Gene. Yeah, they kind of went on a little streak, but both teams went on streaks. But still, St. Genevieve closes it out with 2 3-pointers by Maddie Helms. Excuse me, closes it out with 2 threes by Maddie Helms to put him up by 7.
Yeah, the Dragons in complete control here tonight. 20-13, got off to a great start early, then stumbled.
Yeah, they this game, now that I see it, is going to be more of streaks. They're going to have a lot of streaks. Like St. Gen went on a 10-0 run, and then Valle comes back with an 8-0 run and cut the lead to 2. And then St. Gen, to end the quarter, went on another 10-0 run.
Dragons looking for a great second quarter here. High-scoring first quarter there for the Dragons, on pace for 80 points tonight.
Yeah, that's a little high scoring. That was a little more scoring than I thought there would be in this first quarter.
Yeah, Valle usually a very good defensive team.
Yeah, Valle just needs to guard the 3-point line more in the second quarter. Hopefully to cut down the amount of threes that St. Genevieve shoots and makes.
So the second quarter, Dragons will take the ball. Madison Reynolds back in the game. 2 fouls and some early foul trouble. Meyer, wide open shot. Don't see her pass those up too often, but Brown will not. Brown, in and out. Rebounded by Stiegel. And a jump ball is called on the floor.
That was I think for a jump ball, that was probably a good call.
Yeah.
Even though they both really had it at the same time, and right when he called it, right when he called it, Addie Stiegel came away with it. As ball was knocked out by Addie Stiegel, aforementioned, and Valle will throw it in.
And Valle with the ball. Stuffed by Emma Meyer. Great defense there. Reynolds. Breakaway layup.
Off the bottom of the rim.
Under the rim.
For
Bosler
3.
with the shot. Off the rim, a little too
Good
hard.
box out by Courtney Dunsey.
And Dunsey gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds finds Brown. Brown for 3, short.
Tries to save it. Great hustle by Darren Brown, but as it goes out of bounds, it'll be Valley Catholic Warrior ball.
And the Warriors still down 20-13, but they are in the bonus a minute into the second quarter. Drawing a lot of fouls here against the Dragons.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to go after Madison Reynolds. She's already had 2 fouls, of course, the most of both teams right now. So
Bosler steps out of bounds again. Great defense by Courtney Dunsey, denying her that baseline.
And again, great defense, like you said, for Courtney Dunsey, not fouling as Sydney Bosler was driving right at her.
Dragons over to Brown. Looking inside to Dunsey. Dunsey grabs her own board, but ripped out of the hands by Bosler. Bosler coming down the floor hard. Reynolds Reynolds cuts her off for three. No, little hard. Reynolds with the board. Another breakaway layup chance. This one goes in. 22-13, Dragons in control.
As you could see Coach Banks telling his girls to get back and play that man-to-man defense that they play.
Yeah, great defense here tonight by both the Dragons and the Warriors. I think the Warriors' biggest problem so far tonight has been turnovers, though.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think one of their biggest problems is St. Genevieve shooting the three and making it.
Yeah, that you cannot leave. You have to get a hand in the face of these Dragons shooters.
Absolutely.
Basler with a step back off the rim.
To Brown as she gets the board. Brown to Dunsey.
Dunsey turns and shoots.
A little long.
Not a great shot there by Dunsey. Didn't ever really face up to the basket.
Good.
Double teamed. Reynolds, breakaway layup. Left hand somehow goes in. Circus shot there by Reynolds. Looked like she tried to draw the foul.
Yeah, that was a great play by Madison Reynolds to get the steal and then come back. Emma Meyer, great job to come back and get the double team on Katie Heil as she throws it and right into the hands of Madison Reynolds to go up for the layup.
And it looks like Maddie Helms, Caitlin Apt, and Avery Reed all coming into the game for the Dragons as Addie Stiegel, Darren Brown, and Emma Meyer all check out.
As Caitlin Apt is now into the game for St. Genevieve. Maddie Helms is into the game, and Avery Reed is in.
Reynolds over there pretty close. Gets to Helms, over to Apt. Apt more of a defensive player, won't see her shoot the ball too often.
Yeah. She's a really good, I think that she drives the ball really well when she gets the ball into her hands and can drive.
Great rebound there by Reed. The putback a little short. Reynolds is fouled, a push on the floor. Great offensive rebounding there from the Dragons.
Yeah, as Valle Catholic has only had, that's the third foul Valle Catholic has to St. Genevieve 7. So this game could come down to fouls as well. I mean, St. Gen, yes, is up by 11, but if you put them at the free throw line early, they could come back with no time running off the clock.
Yeah, the Dragons' first game against Murfreesboro was both bigs fouled out, and Avery Reed and Courtney Dunsey. Reynolds, another offensive rebound. Apt, the shot, a little too hard. Grabs her own rebound again, out to Reynolds. Oh, a foul is called. I thought it was going to be a walk.
I thought it was too, but a foul is called on Valle Catholic. That's their fourth of the game of the half. Jeez, I can't talk.
We got about 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Not a lot of scoring in this second quarter so far.
No, like we saw, as the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with St. Genevieve. But like we saw in the first quarter, St. Gen scored 20. Valle Catholic, I think, scored 13. I don't think Valle has scored this quarter.
Yeah, I don't think they have either.
St. Gen's only scored 4 points, and Valle Catholic hasn't scored any.
Maddie Helms with a great cut there to get open off the inbound. Gets her over to Apt. Apt swings it to Reynolds. Reynolds wide open for three. Madison Reynolds hits the shot. 27-13. The Dragons have doubled up on the Warriors here in the second quarter.
Yes, they have, and Valle Catholic really needs to get on the board right here. They haven't scored in this quarter, and they really need some points.
Basler looking for a shot. Tries to drive the lane.
Defense by Caitlin Apt. Deep
Basler.
Three. Count it.
What a shot, Sydney Basler.
And you'll see a lot of threes from her tonight. I think that is her second or third three that she has shot, but you will see a lot of them more to come.
Reynolds is partially blocked. Rebound by number 5, Emma Karen. Swings it over 22, Basler. To number 13, Siebert. Barr is partially blocked by Dunsey. Reed with the rebound. Dragons looking to run now. Reynolds crosses over, turns the ball over. Number 2, Weiler.
She's all alone and goes in for the layup.
And she misses the breakaway layup. And the Dragons will cling to a 27-16 lead. Apt with the ball on the wing over to Helms on the point. Bounce passes over to Reynolds. Reynolds, oh, she shoots it. Reynolds, in and out. Great rebound there by Barr.
Caitlin Apt goes over to try and double team, but Barr passes out of it.
This is number 13, Taylor Siebert, passes into Emma Karen. Great strength there by Courtney Dunsey to rip the ball out of Karen's hand. And a timeout is called by Coach Josh Banks, first timeout of the game. And the Dragons really opened up a big lead here in the second quarter.
Yes, they did. Valle Catholic has only scored 3 points in the second quarter to St. Genevieve 7. So, I mean, not a high-scoring second quarter, but St. Genevieve is on top by 11.
Yeah, Dragons up 27-16. And up 27-16 here with 3:21 left to go in the second quarter.
And at halftime, we will bring you an interview with Coach Jeff Nix. And we are going to try and get a boys basketball player to come up and interview. We don't know who that will be yet, but we are trying to get one.
And the Dragons will take the ball from the sideline, inbounded to Brown.
It looks like Madison Reynolds is out of the game right now, and Addie Steele has checked in.
Meyer for three. Yes, nothing but net. 30-16. Dragons in control.
And like we said, St. Genevieve is shooting a lot of threes tonight, and looks like they're on right now. I don't think they've missed a three here in a while.
Weiler into, what's her name? 22.
Tried to get it to Bosler, but stolen by St. Genevieve.
Stiegel off the mark. Reed with the rebound, puts it back up, off the mark again. And that ball is going Valle Catholic's way.
Looks like it hit off Addie Stiegel's hand and goes out of bounds, and Valle Catholic's ball.
Bosler to inbound to number 13, Taylor Siebert.
Siebert in charge of the point tonight. You'll more likely see Sydney Bosler sometimes take the point and instead of Siebert, but looks like Siebert's in it right now.
Barr swings it over, not Barr, number 20.
Heil.
Excuse me. 13, that is Siebert. Swings it over to Heil. Looking in the post for Karen, over to Barr. Barr trying to drive. Shot is up, and it goes in high off the glass.
That almost looked like a circus shot. She had, I believe, Addie Stiegel in her face, puts it up, and it goes in.
Meyer left wide open. Meyer for three. It is long. And it will go over to Valle. 30-18, Dragons in control. Exactly 2 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, a little long on that three. Emma Meyer, really good three-point shooter, just left it a little long, and it'll be Valle Catholic's ball.
Over to Bosler, or not Bosler.
Heil.
And it is going St. Genevieve's way. Great defense there by Emma Meyer to jump the gun and try and steal that pass.
Yeah, she tipped it, and it tipped off Heil and went out of bounds.
I cannot get names straight tonight.
Hey, it happens. Same here. I can't get St. Genevieve players right.
Hey, whatever happens, happens.
As it looks like Darren Brown will throw it in for St. Genevieve.
It looks like Dragons will go 3 posts here.
Madison Reynolds is back into the game. I think they're going to use Avery Reed as one of their wings.
Brown for three, a little long. Dunsey almost got the rebound there. And Karen will kick it out, or kick it back to Bosler, who kicks it over number 13, Siebert. Dribbles down the point. Over number 20, that is Heil.
Guarded by Addie Stiegel.
25, Karen, looking around. No one really open. The 13, Siebert. Back to 20, Heil. Heil, a shot. And it goes in.
Count it for three.
So the Warriors have trimmed it back down to a 9-point lead.
Yeah, and Valle Catholic's really coming along here in this second part of the second quarter.
Reed, short corner, over to Brown. Brown looking in the post for Dunsey. Dunsey fighting down there. Looks like she was fouled pretty hard.
Good
but
save
great defense
there.
Defense. Great hustle there by Addie Stiegel. Stiegel looking for Reed. Reed can't get it to go in.
They're wanting an over the back call on Courtney Dunsey. She was going after the ball.
I think she's just that tall and that strong.
Yeah, exactly. She's 6'2", and one of the taller girls that I've really seen play for both high schools.
Over to Bosler. Bosler, cross-court pass. Siebert.
Yep.
And Dunsey called for the foul. Looked like she was straight up. She is not happy with that call.
She did come down a little bit when she shot. That's what they called it on. When she went down, Courtney went straight down with her hand, and that's going to get called most of the time.
8 fouls here on the Dragons in the first half. 28.2 to go.
That is Courtney's second foul of the game.
And Valle subpar free throw shooting here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Great rebound there by Dunsey. Over to Reynolds. 25 to go.
I had something on my mind and just couldn't think of it.
It happens. It's our first broadcast in a while.
Yeah.
As the boys basketball team will actually play tomorrow night, Drew, and they will play against St. Pius, I believe,
Yes, sir.
after a disappointing loss to Fox early in the season.
Yeah, St. Genevieve lost 55-52. Last second in the game, Gabe Grimminger shot a deep three that almost went in, hit off the rim, and missed, but it was a really good game by both teams.
Reynolds, great steal there. Pokes it out of Barr's hands, but it will stay with Valle. 7.3 here to go in the first half. Dragons clinging to a 9-point lead here as they've seen that lead grow and shrink a little bit throughout the first half.
Like I said, this game is about streaks. St. Genevieve went up by 10 early in the game, and then Valle came back and tied it at 11.
And she steps out of bounds, so Dragons will get the ball back with 4.3 here to go.
Yeah, and like I was saying, St. Genevieve doing a really good job of not fouling.
2-1, Reynolds. Oh, almost goes in. Got down the floor very quickly. But at halftime, we have the score. St. Genevieve Dragons 30, Valle Catholic 21.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, this game is about streaks. St. Genevieve went on a 10-0 run earlier in the game. Then Valle came back and tied it at 11. Then later, St. Genevieve went on another 10-0 run to end the quarter. And at the end of the first quarter, it was 20-13. Then at the beginning of the second quarter, St. Genevieve led up with 7 points early to go up 27-13. Then Valle Catholic came back and was really getting close. I think they dropped it down to 9, and then that's at 9 now. They dropped it down to 7, I think. 7, and then St. Gen closed out with a 9-point lead, 30-21 over Valle Catholic right now.
Yeah, Dragons up by 9 here at half. We have about 9.5 minutes until the third quarter starts, and I'm not really seeing Mr. Nix in the crowd, so I'm going to go.
He's right here.
Oh, there he is. I'm going to yell at him real quick.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Oh, here he comes.
And it looks like we will interview Mr. Jeff Nix, the athletic director of the St. Gen High School and Middle School.
As he will make his way slowly but surely over here. 9 minutes to go and half. And if you're Coach Banks, if, talking to the Dragons, stay out of foul trouble.
Absolutely. I mean, St. Genevieve had 8 fouls early. Had 8 fouls in the first half. They had 5 really early in the first quarter. And then later on, they started settling down and not fouling as much. But those fouls can come back to haunt you. Yeah,
those fouls definitely. Reynolds with 2, Dunsey with 2, and I believe one more person has 2 fouls. So just with that, that is 6 of the 8 fouls the Dragons committed in the first half.
Yeah.
You know, when you got key players like Dunsey and Reynolds getting fouls that quickly and that often, you know, it really affects the latter end of the game.
It really does. And Madison Reynolds, looks like Valle is going right after. I mean, Valle is trying to get Madison into foul trouble so that they will take her out of the game and hopefully come closer to winning, to bringing this to a closer game.
Yeah, the Dragons or the Warriors definitely trying to draw fouls here tonight on the Dragons, and they are succeeding at it so far. So we are joined now by Mr. Jeff Nix, the athletic director of both St. Genevieve High School and Middle School, I believe.
That's correct.
That's correct. How you doing tonight, Coach Nix?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Living the dream.
I hear you.
We have a back-and-forth game. The score might not show it, but a lot of runs by both teams here tonight. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, I think right now we're kind of trying to live and die by the 3, and I guess it's working for us, but I think we would be a lot more successful and productive if we would get it to our bigs down low. I mean, we are our 2 talls are way bigger than theirs, and if we would just bring our talls out a little bit, it seems like they're sagging too much underneath the basket, not giving themselves the opportunity. If they would just come out a little bit, take that pass and go to the basket, I think they would we'd score a lot more points. But then again, you got to have that touch of once you get that pass to turn around and make that shot too.
Right, a lot of finesse used in the post, and some of the posts for the Dragons, they are a little jagged on the edges, but they get the job done at the end of the day. Dragons post not really an offensive type of post. They're more of they like to rebound and a lot of stuff like that. And I believe Drew has a question for you.
I do. What do you think the foul situation for St. Genevieve is? I mean, they had 8 in the first half. They had 5 really early. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the officials tonight so far have kind of called just about everything on both teams, so it's been pretty equal as far as how they're calling the game. It's just a little too tic-tacky for me, but when they call it consistently with both teams, you can't ask for anything more than that. We just have to be careful. We've got a couple of girls that we can't get in foul trouble, or it's a whole different story when they're sitting on the bench. So just have to be careful and try not to get any silly fouls. If you're going to get a foul, make sure it's a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Coach Nix, we didn't really have an interview prepared, so we're kind of just here.
That's okay.
But the Lady Dragons so far 3 year. What do you think they'll do?
I think they're going to do pretty well this year, and they've got some good leadership. They've got a tough schedule. They don't have a whole lot of teams that are upcoming that they're going to walk all over. So they're going to have to work for it, that's for sure. But I think if they come out and they work hard and they play to their potential, they've got a good season coming up in front of them.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nix.
You bet. You guys have a good one.
You too. And that was Mr. Jeff Nix of the St. Genevieve Athletic Department, as he is the athletic director for both middle school and high school.
Yeah, Mr. Nix, he's a great guy. Really does a lot with the athletic teams. You always see him walking around, setting stuff up. Definitely, in my mind, one of the most underappreciated guys in the building.
Absolutely.
So thank you for all you do, Mr. Nix. As looks like St. Genevieve will come back in. Yeah, and it looks like St. Genevieve will come back and take the floor. But Drew here is actually a member of the men's basketball team at St. Genevieve, so I'm going to give him a little interview here. Drew, you guys lost your first game of the season against Fox in a little bit of a heart-wrencher. Fox, not the greatest of teams, not the best of teams, definitely a manageable team. But what were your thoughts after starting the season 0-1?
I thought that our defense in the first half was really good. I mean, we only held Fox to about, I don't remember this score at half, but I know that they didn't have more than 20 points then in the first half. We just lacked a little defensively in the second half, and we only held them to 11 points in the first quarter. Or no, we held them to about to 11 points. Yes, we were up by 11. And so it was kind of tough for them to come back and win that game.
Yeah, like I said, started 0-1. You guys have St. Pius tomorrow. Do you expect to win?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Pius has got some really good players on their team. They're very young, though. They have 2 freshmen that play. They start 3 sophomores, and they only have 1 senior on the team this year. But I think that it should be very manageable to come out with a win tomorrow.
Yeah, what are your expectations for the season after winning district championship for the first time in a very long time last year?
I think it'll be a little rough this year. I mean, we lost 4 key players that were really good on the offense and defense. I mean, we lost
4.
Morgan. Yeah. We lost Morgan Shank, Nathan McClin, Zach Rhodes, and Anthony Rowe.
Anthony Rowe, that's right.
And we lost Morgan Shank, who was 6'4" and 250, and nobody was going to move him out of the way of getting boards. And he scored a lot of points for us, and he was really one of the big reasons that we won that district championship. I mean, he worked a lot room for football, and he actually went to Missouri S&T for football, and he just really helped other teams from scoring because he was. And then we lost Nathan McClin, who is a really
he's strong. He's a slasher.
Just was a player that was really, really quiet. I mean, I've known him for a long time, and I think he may have spoken about 4 words to me.
Yeah, he doesn't talk too often, but he does most of his talking on the court or on the field.
Absolutely. He didn't really score that many points for St. Genevieve over the season, but he was just one of those role players, one of those role models on the team that you just look up to. And he was a really good player. I mean, you knew when he was on the court because he was hustling and he was getting rebounds and he was getting steals and he was running out of bounds to try and save a ball. He was just all over the court. And then finally, Zach Rhodes. I mean, he was a really good post for us. He did his best to not get into foul trouble, but he was a really good player and he was a really good role model too. I mean, there was one game last year against North County. He scored 19 points, and we were all kind of talking to him on the bench when he was out and was like, if I don't get 20 points, you guys are going to owe me a free throw sticker because or a point sticker because he missed his last free throw because Dalton jinxed him is what he keeps saying. So,
oh, no.
I mean, he was just a really, really good player and really good guy, and we're going to miss him all.
Yeah, Anthony didn't really play too much of the season. I believe he played about a quarter of the season. You know, I believe he tore his ACL late in football season.
He did tear his ACL, and then no,
he broke his hand.
He tore his ACL his junior year. Tore his junior year, came back his senior year, played a lot of the year, played all of it, and was all-state running back with Austin Brewer, and then broke his hand late in the season, didn't even know it, and had to go in and fix that. And didn't really play that much, like you said, but was a really good role model and really good player.
Yeah, as second half, we're going to kick off here. Me and Drew are actually going to switch roles. Drew's going to be your play-by-play guy, and you won't hear as much from me. I'll be your color commentary guy.
Yes, as it looks like it'll be St. Genevieve's ball coming out of the break.
Yes, I believe it will be since they lost the jump.
Yes, it will.
So Valle down by 9 with about 22 seconds left here in the half, and it looks like the Valle Catholic Warrior starters are back on the floor, and it looks like they are determined to win this game.
Yes, it is, as we have Katie Heil, Taylor Siebert, Allison Barr, Sydney Bosler, and number 5, that is Emma Karen. As Emma Meyer will inbound to Madison Reynolds. Reynolds brings it up the court, guarded by Heil, to Brown, to Addie in the short corner. Addie gives it back to Brown at the wing, up to Reynolds at the point, back to over Meyer at the opposite wing. Darren from the short corner passes it to Reynolds, back to Addie, drives down, guarded by Barr. Reynolds back to Brown for 2. No, but great rebound by Addie Stiegel, who will get an over-the-back call on Barr.
Yeah, great. A lot of ball movement there for the Dragons as 4 different players touched the ball just on that possession. The only one not touching the ball was Courtney Dunsey, making this Valle Catholic defense very tired. As
Emma Meyer passes it in to Madison Reynolds. That is Barr's first foul, by the way. Emma for 3, short. Grabbed by Taylor Siebert, takes it down, 2-on-1 with Katie Heil. And Siebert passes it to Heil, who shoots, yes, from 18.
30-23 as Valle strikes first here in the second half.
As Madison Reynolds brings it down, guarded by Heil, to Darren Brown at the wing. Back to Emma, drives it in, layup, no. Tipped out, grabbed by Brown. Brown tries to get it in, passes it to Courtney from the elbow. Yeah, no, off. To Addie, up, no. Brown, or Dunsey, no. And a foul, and it'll go the other way, as I believe Madison Reynolds picks up her 3rd foul over the back. And St. Gen gets their first foul, but to their best player, Madison Reynolds.
Yeah, like we said, she committed to MAC earlier in the season, just a few days ago, actually, but she picks up her 3rd foul here tonight. I believe she has 7 or 8 points.
As Siebert brings it down, gives it to Barr. Barr tries to drive middle, but Brown steals it. Brown coming back. It's a 3-on-1 to Reynolds, to Addie, up. No! Emma tips it, and it'll go to the Warriors. Great job by Darren Brown. I don't even think she knew that the ball was right there. Took it and started running with it.
Yeah, and it sounded like the Valle Spirit crowd wanted a double dribble as Brown dribbled once. Ball got smacked out of her hands a little bit, but she recovered and started dribbling again.
As Siebert gives it to Barr. Barr dribbles up, gives it to Heil. Heil guarded by Meyer, drives the lane, goes up, blocked by Meyer.
Meyer with her 2nd block of the night.
Darren Brown brings it down the court, gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds thought about shooting, but drives in anyway and can't make the layup, but Dunsey goes up and makes it. And St. Genevieve scores their first basket of the second half with Courtney Dunsey.
32-23, Dragons is still in control here, a 9-point lead. Their biggest lead of the night, I believe, was they were up 36-17 or 36, 27-13 at one point.
Yeah, as Courtney Dunsey gets the rebound, passes it to Brown. Brown kind of was stripped right there, but gets her own little steal right there and gives it to Madison Reynolds. Madison to Emma, to Courtney. Thought about shooting, gives it to Addie. Back out to Meyer, to Madison Reynolds from the free throw. No. Boxed out by Addie to Madison Reynolds, who gets fouled by Sydney Bosler.
Bosler picked up her 2nd foul of the night, I believe.
Yeah, and both superstars for St. Gen and Valle are getting themselves into a little foul trouble.
That was not on Bosler. That was on Emma Karen picking up her 2nd foul of the night as Reynolds
makes the first.
Reynolds, 8 or 9 points so far tonight. Dragons' leading scorer. Emma Meyer up there as well, and Darren Brown.
And Maddie Helms hit 2 threes late in the first half. She has 6. As Madison makes the 2nd of 2. Emma Karen will throw it in to Taylor Siebert as she brings it down the court. guarded by Madison Reynolds, who's trying to push her to the sideline. Gives it to Allison Barr in the corner.
Yeah, and Reynolds was trying to force her left there. You'll see Valle likes to go to the right. Haven't seen too many players go with their non-dominant hand.
Taylor Siebert goes up and gets fouled by Courtney Dunze. I believe that's her third, as it looks like Avery Reed will be checking in for Courtney.
Courtney not happy with the foul calls, but if you're not straight up, it's going to be a foul every day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. As Taylor Siebert goes to the line for 2. First one is up. And long off the back iron.
I'm not sure if the Warriors have made a single free throw all night.
I don't know.
If they make, I believe they've shot 5 or 7 or somewhere in that area of free throws. If they make those free throws, you know, that's it's half the lead of what the Dragons have now.
Absolutely, as the rebound comes down to Allison Barr, but Avery Reed gets her hands on the ball as well, and it'll be a jump ball. Goes to Valle. As it looks like Sydney Bosler will inbound it to Karen. Karen to Heil at the wing. Heil will dribble up and drive. Gives it to Barr for 2. No, off the back iron. And Karen comes down with the foul, or with the rebound, excuse me, but it looks like Avery Reed was pushed down in the process, and it'll go to St. Genevieve.
Dragons up by 11 here. 5:17 left to go in the third quarter.
That'll be Kaylee Heil's first foul of the game.
Over to Brown. Brown
Brown
looking.
gives it to Avery in the short corner. Avery looking for Addie, couldn't get it to her. Gives it to Brown. Brown skips it over to Meyer. Meyer to Addie. Out to Reynolds for 3. No, off the front iron. Gives it to Addie. Addie gets it taken away, but Meyer comes away with it. Gives it to Brown at the wing. Brown will drive and gets fouled by Katie Heil. That's her second in about a minute.
Yeah, the Dragons drawn fouls on the Warriors tonight as they have almost matched, or they have matched their total from the first half in the first 3 minutes and 8 seconds.
Emma Meyer will pass it to Reynolds. Meyer for 3 from the corner, no. But Addie will get her first foul of the night as it is over the back. Katie Heil will throw it in for the Valley Catholic Warriors to Taylor Siebert. Siebert brings it up the court. Looks like Madison Reynolds trying to push her over again. Gives it to Sydney Bosler. Bosler dribbles up to the wing, drives,
Wide
and
open
gets
lane.
a layup.
Oh, no.
Missed. Gives it to Addie, comes down with the rebound, gives it to Madison Reynolds, and here comes St. John the other way. Gives it to Brown, up, yes.
Great transition there by the Dragons from that defensive rebound into offense.
Siebert brings it down, gives it to Barr. Barr to Heil. Heil will look in, couldn't get it to the post. Gives it to Karen. Karen from the free throw. Gives it to Barr. Drives up, kind of partially blocked by Reynolds by Stiegel as Reynolds brings it down the court. Gives it up
Great
to Meyer.
pass.
Meyer to Brown for 3. Count it. And that's Brown's third 3 of the night. As Valley Catholic calls a timeout with 4 minutes exactly left in the third. Our score 39-23. St. John is up. And St. John, I believe, has only scored 9 points this quarter to Valley Catholic's either 2 or 3. I don't remember what they had at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So exactly 4 minutes to go here. We are halfway through the third quarter. Dragons opening up to a 16-point lead as I believe they were up by 9. So they have doubled their lead, or just about doubled their lead in 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary for Valley Catholic. I mean, St. John, yeah, this game has been a lot of runs, but St. John is on a good run right now, and Valley could just, I don't know. I think they're playing a little scared right now for St. John.
Yeah, it looks like they're scared to. They're not shooting
as much as they did in the first half.
If they had an open shot, the Warriors were taking it, but you don't really see that here in the second half. Don't really see it from the Dragons either. It looks like the Dragons are stalling a little bit. No shot clock in high school. You can hold the ball as long as you want.
Absolutely.
So with a lead as big as this, you'll probably see the Dragons start the milk clock, but definitely won't take their foot off the pedal.
As Bosler goes up, rebound comes down to Madison Reynolds. Brings it down, weaves through a couple defenders, gives it up to Courtney,
Great
goes
pass.
up, yes.
That's an assist for Reynolds and a bucket for Dunze.
As Siebert brings it down the court. Reynolds still guarding her to the left, over to Bosler at the wing. Bosler guarded by Brown. Karen tried to screen, but it was a moving screen on Karen, and it'll go to St. John.
Yeah, and I believe there's a scoreboard malfunction on the
Scores table.
Yeah, at the scorers table. And it looks like they're fixing it now. So 41-23 Dragons, 18-point lead. 3.5 to go here in the third quarter.
Reynolds over to Brown at the wing. Brown to Reed, short corner, a little long as Allison Barr comes down with the rebound. Double team by Dunsey and Helms, but she gets it to Bosler. Bosler brings it up the court, gives it to Siebert at the wing. Siebert guarded by Helms. Pass, but hit the back of Madison Reynolds as she comes down the court. 2-on-1 with Darren Brown, but Reynolds goes up and makes the easy 2.
20-point lead here for the Dragons, really opening up on a 13-2 run here to start the third quarter, I believe.
As Siebert brings it down, Madison Reynolds tried to get the steal, but goes to Bosler. She dribbles in, gets a little shot, but now it'll go to Heil for 3 in the corner, missed. But Reed comes down with the rebound and backs the other way comes St. John. Reynolds to Dunsey, missed, and it'll be jump ball. I think it'll be St. John's ball as Maddie Reynolds came down with Karen of Valley Catholic.
That's Maddie Helms.
That's what I said.
You said Reynolds.
Oh, that's Helms. My bad.
A lot of Maddies at St. John.
Yeah, it's a little harder. As Caitlin Apt comes in and Emma Meyer comes back into the game. Helms will pass it into Reed. Reed will give it to Reynolds. We'll pass it out to Meyer. Meyer thought about shooting, but didn't. Reed comes in a little bit, takes a shot. No. Rebounded by Barr. Gives it to Bosler as she brings it up the court. Bosler is guarded by Helms. To
number 45. That is Nicholson. I believe that's Emma Nicholson's little sister.
As Taylor Siebert hits a 3. Madison Reynolds brings it down the court.
So 43-26.
Gives it to Meyer. Meyer looking, gives it to Apt. Apt from the elbow, can't make it as Bosler comes down with the rebound, guarded by Meyer, but she blows by Meyer and goes down. Pass to Barr, but tipped out of bounds by Emma Meyer. Great defense by Emma to get around Barr to get the tip. As Addie Stiegel will come in for Avery Reed and Darren Brown will come in for Madison Reynolds, who has 3 fouls on the night.
Sydney Bosler will inbound the ball. Looks like a 4-high set here for the Warriors.
As Bosler
can't find anything
gets it
she
into
likes.
Barr, shoots, no, and Addie Stiegel will come down with the rebound. Darren Brown brings it up the court, and she will go past them to Emma for 3 in the corner. Yes!
Meyer hits the 3.
Another 3 for Meyer, and I believe that's her 2nd or 3rd of the evening. As Siebert passes it to Barr, to Bosler. Bosler will try and drive baseline. Step back. Thought about shooting, but didn't. Gives it to
over to Nicholson.
Over to Nicholson. I can't talk. Bosler back to Weiler. Weiler back to Bosler for 3. Count.
Oh, in and
I thought
out.
that was going in. As Emma Meyer comes down with the rebound. Tries to give it up to Brown, but little behind her as she lets the Dragons set up. Brown to Meyer for 3. Little short. Meyer gets her own rebound. Drives the lane, and it is a block on Nicholson. First foul of the evening.
Meyer will inbound it from the baseline.
That is the Valley Catholic Warriors' 6th foul. So next foul, they will go to the free throw line.
Meyer with the inbound. Over to Brown.
Brown will kick it to Meyer. Meyer in the corner gives it to Stiegel. Stiegel to Helms at the elbow. Count it. And it looks like an official timeout as Weiler kind of went down a little weird on her ankle. And it looks like Katie Heil will come into the game for
Weiler.
That's what I said.
Valley not with a very deep team. Looks like they only have 8 or 9 people on the team in total compared to the Dragons. Well, the Dragons usually do have 11, but tonight only playing with 9.
As Heil tries to pass to Bosler as it goes off her hand and out of bounds, and it'll go back to St. John. Emma Meyer will throw it in to Darren Brown, who has taken over the point guard duties for Madison Reynolds as she is on the bench. Brown slowly walking it up, guarded by Heil, over to Helms, guarded by Siebert, to Apt in the corner, guarded by Barr. Back to Helms. Heil tried to steal it off Maddie Helms' hand and out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Valley Catholic Warriors. As Heil will throw it into Siebert. As Siebert walks it down the court. Passes it. No, she keeps it. I thought she was about to pass it, but passes it right to Caitlin after the St. John Dragons, and it'll go to Addie, over to Apt, who's trying to dribble it up the court. Stopped by Siebert. Great spin move by Apt. Off the hand of Siebert. Down to Addie. Goes up and gets fouled by Sydney Bosler.
2.5 left here in the third quarter, and Stiegel will go to the line.
Now I wasn't even paying attention to that. Addie Stiegel will go to the line for 2. First one's up.
First one.
A little off the mark. That is Sydney Bosler's 3rd foul of the evening. Both St. John and Valle's number 1 point guards have 3 fouls on the evening. As Barr will give it to Bosler. She rolls it. She shoots. And just a little long. And that'll be the end of the third quarter with our score 49-26. St. John continued that run that they ended on with the first half and continued it into the second half.
Yeah, they 12-point advantage here just in the third quarter. They were up by, or no, they 14-point advantage. They were up by 9 at halftime and up by 23, I believe, now. So my math is off there. 14 plus 9. It's 23.
It is 23.
Wasn't off.
Wow. You're in, what is it, pre-calc?
Yeah, but I'm not too good at it.
We've really switched the roles in fouls lately. I mean, St. John ended the first quarter with, or the first half with 8 fouls. St. John, or Valle ends the third quarter with 7 fouls. So a whole half to St. John, they earned 8 fouls. A whole quarter to Valle has earned 7 fouls. So little change in.
Kind of flip-flopped.
Yeah, little change in foul differential. As looks like it'll be Valley Catholic Warrior ball as we come out of the quarter. Ref kind of talking to Madison Reynolds, the captain of St. Genevieve, and don't really know what it's about, but I mean, they were conversing over something. As it looks like Katie Heil will throw it in for Taylor Siebert. Siebert brings it up the court. Reynolds still guarding to the left. Gives it to Bosler. She dribbles it up. Shoots, I think that was a 3, and she
Great
counts
shot.
it. Count it. And St. Genevieve is up by 20. Reynolds over to Brown. Brown cross pass to wing. Over to Dunsey. Kind of goes through her hands and right to Nicholson as Bosler brings it up the court. Gives it to Siebert. Siebert dribbles up. Passes to Heil. Heil in the corner. Dribbles it up to the wing. Dribbles it back down to the corner. Off Meyer's foot. Off Heil's foot. And then back to St. Genevieve out of bounds.
And so the Dragons will take possession here up by 20. Fourth quarter just starting.
And with about, what is that? Is that, I don't know. Reynolds, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Brown to Addie in the short corner. Back to Brown at the wing. To
Great
Reynolds
pass.
inside. Goes up. No. To Courtney. Goes up. Yes, off the glass. St. Genevieve up by 22. Our score 51-29 as Bosler brings it up the court, guarded closely by Brown. And another moving screen on Valle. As that is that is Nicholson's second foul of the evening.
Moving screen was the call, and Reynolds will take the ball down the court. But Courtney Dunsey probably nearing a double-double here tonight.
Yeah, pretty close as she goes up, and Alma couldn't make it. Addie tries to go for it. Bosler comes down with the rebound, and she goes past
by.
Darren Brown. Reynolds tried to get a tip on it, but gets it to Siebert, who gives it to Nicholson, who shoots, but comes down with it, Courtney Dunsey. Reynolds brings it up the court on the floor, but it'll be a 1-and-1 shooting for Madison Reynolds, as I believe that was number 14, and that's Barr with her second foul of the evening. As Madison Reynolds will go to the line shooting a 1-and-1.
I'm tired.
First one, yes.
Good.
52-29.
3 for 3 from the stripe tonight.
Second one is up.
And that one
Yes.
is good as well. Complete control, a dominant second half here by the Dragons.
Yes, they have. And now they're up by 24. Guarded closely by back by Bosler, a little short as court. She kind of gets out by Barr. Passes it to Reynolds. Trying to look for, gives it to Brown in the corner for 3. And that is her. Siebert brings it up as Brown looking for someone to pass for a wide. Ooh.
Thought she was.
As Dunsey comes down with the rebound, goes up, and I believe you're right. She's getting really close. I believe that's Valle's first points of this quarter.
I believe it is. They've only scored.
And
one. Reynolds draws the foul and makes the.
Valle's 10th of the evening, so every foul after that will looks like
Checking in the game for the first time.
Put back. I almost think that could stay in the game. Checking in for and one for but Avery back for St. John. 31 doubled up Valle right now.
Yeah, so Coach Banks pulling most of his starters out of the game with a 9-man bench. Can't really have – you got to have one starter in the game. And,
I think that's kind of smart on Coach Banks' part. I mean, it's very early in the season. You don't want one of your big key players to get hurt early in the season and lose them for the rest of it. So you want to pull them out as early as possible so that they can get some rest and prepare for a really long season.
Well, even then, when you're up by this much, you know, you see a lot of coaches put in what, I mean, I personally like to call project players, players that aren't quite ready yet but might be next year.
Absolutely.
Or later in the year just so they can get a little bit of varsity time.
Absolutely. As Bosler to Heil, back to Bosler for 3, short. And Karen will come back down with the rebound, guarded by Avery. Bosler for 3. Again, no. Apt comes down with the rebound. And she tries to dribble up the court, but kind of loses it and gives it to Helms. Helms with the left hand brings it up, guarded by Siebert. Back over to Brown, one of the starters that they have to play. To Apt, gets blocked by Barr, but stays with St. John. That was actually a tip by Barr, and it goes out of bounds. As Caitlin Apt will throw it in. Throws it into Brown. Brown in the corner, thought about shooting it, but gives it to Reed. Reed at the top of the key, short. A little deeper than what Coach Banks likes to see, but she shot it and partially blocked Avery, partially blocked Siebert as she comes down with the rebound and gives it to Helms. Helms over to Solkowski at the wing. Gives it to Apt down at the short corner. Apt back out, tries to get it to Helms, but it'll be a backcourt on St. Genevieve, and it'll go back to Valle.
3. Oh, and they're going to keep the clock running here right now. I guess the Dragons will open up a big enough lead where.
Yeah, there's a point restriction in high school basketball. If you're over 30 points, it's pretty much in any sport besides baseball, of course, because there's no clock or anything. But if you're up by 30 points, it's called the running clock. So no matter what, it won't stop unless it's a timeout. I believe that's Heil in the corner. Couldn't make the 3, and it goes out of bounds, but it will stay with Valle.
Down to about 3:08 here in the fourth quarter. Dragons looked like they locked up this key win against Valle Catholic here tonight.
Yeah, and you really needed this win. They will go on to win this championship game unless a miracle happens and Valle comes back from 31 down. But this was a good game for St. John to know that they can beat Valle. I think some of them were little. Let's say a little hesitant after the jamboree with Valle as they split both of them as Sydney Bosler makes a 3 at the wing. But overall, a really good game for St. Genevieve.
Dragons looking like they're just trying to milk clock, take a lot of extra passes as we're down to 2:20 here in the fourth quarter. Dragons up by 28. 62-34 is the score. Dragons in the double bonus, and the Warriors only have drawn 3 fouls.
As that is tipped by Siebert, and it will go out of bounds. St. Genevieve's ball. Brown will throw it in, and she will get it into Avery Reed. Avery back to Brown for 3. No.
Great rebound there by Reed.
And
Reed
she
puts
it back in. Siebert brings it up the court. St. Genevieve up by 30, 64-34. Siebert gives it to Barr. Barr dribbles, gives it to Karen. Karen drives the lane, kicks it back out for Heil. Heil all the way over to Bosler on the other wing. Bosler gives it to Siebert, who will try to throw it into Karen. Reed tips it, but it's a foul on Reed, as Emma Meyer will check in. And it looks like we have some other players in. We have number 3, Bosler, in for Valle, and I can't see the other number.
Looks like that is
25, and that is
Lauren Stoss.
Stoss again. As Reed will come back down with the rebound, gives it to Meyer, who will bring it up the court. Meyer kind of milking clock, gives it to Apt. Apt back to Meyer. Meyer passes it into Reed. Reed up.
Turnaround jumper.
Yes.
Great shot there by Reed.
Off the glass. A little kiss off the glass.
Down to 53 seconds here in the fourth quarter.
As Bosler brings it up the court. Bosler tries to drive the lane. Reed goes up. Partially blocked by Reed as she comes down with the rebound and gives it to Meyer, who gives it to Helms. 40 seconds here to the end of the game as Helms gives it to Meyer. Meyer gives it to Apt in the short corner. And it'll be 3 seconds in the lane on Avery Reed and the Dragons, and back to Valle. As we are in the running clock, that's why the clock is not stopping. As Barr will hand it to Bosler, who will shoot a deep 3. And great rebound by Avery Reed, who gives it to Emma Meyer, who brings it up the court.
And if you're the Dragons here, you might just dribble out
Gives
the
it
clock.
to Helms, who to Meyer, to Sulkowski for 3. Missed as it goes out of bounds, but that's the end of the game with our final score 66-34. And you can kind of hear Coach Josh Banks kind of tell Sulkowski, hey, shoot it. And she shot it from really deep.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I heard it. And she shot it from really deep. That's why she shot it. And almost went in, but otherwise a great win for the St. Genevieve Dragons. They win by 32, 66-34. And we will get an interview with Coach Josh Banks of the St. Genevieve Dragons.
Yeah, the Dragons here, the 66-34 big win tonight over Valle Catholic Warriors. As Drew said, we're going to try and get an interview with Coach Banks. Drew, I'm going to let you take the wheel on this one.
Okay.
And I talked to him earlier today.
All right. I'll try my best. What questions did you ask him? I couldn't hear it through my headset. So,
just what are your expectations for the season? What do you guys got to work on? How did you guys get better from last year and, stuff like that?
Okay. As St. Genevieve is first in this Valle Catholic tournament, Valle Catholic beginning of the year tournament. And
they won this tournament last year, didn't they?
I have no idea. I do know that what we were talking about earlier, St. Genevieve boys basketball will be playing tomorrow.
At DeSoto.
At DeSoto. Be there, be square.
So the Lady Dragons moved to 4-0 here on the early season. Great expectations for them. And great expectations for them for the rest of the season to open up the season firing on all cylinders, it seems like.
Absolutely. And now we have Coach Josh Banks of the St. Genevieve girls volleyball or girls basketball. Geez, I still think we're in volleyball. Coach, really good win to you over. Really good win for you over Valle Catholic. What?
To play them, we see and they felt like they did some of their better ball because coming off of wins that we've had against Murphy. So, they wanted an opportunity to see how they matched up against a zone. Generally, Valle runs a zone against us. It's one thing that we generally struggle with, and I feel like they did a good job, especially after the second half.
Absolutely. And your girls really good. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, Valle really runs a compact 2-3 zone, and they left the wings wide open for Meyer and Brown to shoot those threes. And I thought they really shot well from behind the arc. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they were, 7 for 17 or something in the first half. Once they settled down, though, in the second half, too, they took better shots. I felt like they felt a little bit rushed at times. One thing about Valle in a 2-3 zone is they'll give you open looks on the outside arc for the three-point shot, hoping that you'll miss more than you make, and then, get a transitional rebound and take it back down. And it started off pretty good, but then we started missing some of them because all we did was dribble down. So I felt like, but I feel like if running the offense correctly and given the chance to work their defense, sometimes we get a little cold on the outside.
Last question for you, Coach. You guys are 4-0 on the season. You had really big wins over all the teams that you played. What is your expectations for the rest of the season as it goes on?
Well, I don't know. We've got some big games coming up next week after we play Windsor. St. James, who played in state last year, state championship game. They're coming to our house, and they got a lot of their players back. They will be a solid franchise to play against, and they're really going to put a lot of challenge into our girls. They're going to press. They're going to play man-to-man, and they're very aggressive and physical. It's going to be up and down the court the entire time, and I feel like that's going to be a big test for us. As far as the rest of the season goes, our girls have the potential to be successful and maybe get 18, 19 wins, but none of them are going to come easy. We just have to stay consistent, and that's been our game plan and what we've been trying to do for the last couple of years, and I'm hoping that with this senior group, they will be able to finally make that happen.
Absolutely. And congratulations, Coach. Great win for you guys, and hope you guys come out next week and have a really good week.
All right. Thank you very much.
And that is Coach Josh Banks of the St. Genevieve Basketball Girls Dragons. And as we are coming to the end of our broadcast, I am Drew Toombs along with Troy Johnson signing off.
Good night, St. Genevieve.